Could you tell me your name and what did you put it in?
Yeah, my name is Desmond and I work in finance. I'm here to showcase my S-Works, Specialized S-Works.
Yeah, thank you. Could you tell me more details about the bike?
Sure. So this bike I bought in 2017, a shop in Brooklyn called Roy Shipshead.
Okay.
It's a really good bike shop, and they sell high-end bikes and medium bikes. They sell all kinds of bikes. And this is a S-Works Nibali edition.
Yeah.
It has a shark here. Vincent Nibali was an Italian pro rider for Astana. And this is the bike that he rode to win the Tour de France, the Tour de España, and Giro d'Italia. And if you notice the wave here, it represents all the 3 Grand Tours. Like Tour de France is the yellow, Giro d'Italia, and Tour of Spain. And this is a size 58 because I'm 6'1". The bike came with Shimano Dura-Ace, which I think, in my opinion, is the lightest mechanical group set that Shimano ever made. And the only thing I changed was the crank, because the original crank, I cracked it.
Okay.
I cracked it in half. And the brakes are Shimano Dura-Ace 9000. They're rim brakes, of course. The only thing, I also changed the wheels, fulcrum.
Oh,
yeah,
fulcrum.
fulcrum. Okay. It came with Vision, but I switched it to fulcrum because eventually the brake will wear out because it's rim brake.
Yeah.
So I replaced it, and I also wanted more of a climbing wheel. So this is more shallow. Yeah, because this is a climbing bike.
Yeah.
It's an aero, but mostly for climbing.
Right.
AC3.
This is a carbon wheel, right?
Height. It's carbon fiber wheel, and it's very good. It's very fast. Even it's a shallow wheel, it's fast on the flats. Because, I mean, I like to ride shallow wheels in New York versus because New York's not flat.
Yeah.
If you live in Florida, it's nice to have like a very deep wheel because you're just flat, right? But in New York, I like to go to River Road, which is a famous cycling in New Jersey, a cycling park in New Jersey. If you're an avid cyclist, you'll know about River Road, and it's very hilly, and there's many climbs. Yeah. And if you notice, this is the original derailleur, mechanical, of course, Dura-Ace, everything. Yeah, and this bike has been famous for with Vincent Nibali's downhill descent at the Tour of Lombardia. Not sure what year it was. It must have been 2016 or 2017, and check it out on YouTube. It's like
I think so. It's like 2016 or
2016, and he basically passed the motorcycles. He was very, and he won that race.
Right.
So, and this bike weighs about maybe 16 pounds, maybe 15 to 16 pounds without the water bottle and the saddlebag.
Pretty light.
Yeah, it's
even the frame size is 58, so it's kind of big.
correct.
But it's only like 15 pounds.
Height. And this, I like aluminum handlebars because in case if you crash, there's a chance you can still go home, because if you have carbon handlebars and if you crash, you might not be able to go right home. You also have to be very, because carbon handlebars, if you crash, that's the first thing they're gonna break, either the handlebars or the frame. And I didn't wanna, and I also like the carbon, the aluminum handlebars. I like the way it feels on the road versus I think the carbon's too stiff for me. And I like the aluminum handlebars. Yeah, so this bike has, actually this came with 23, but I put in 28.
28?
Yeah, 28 millimeters Continental Grand Prix, because I mean everybody now races 28 and above millimeters, right? So, and a 28 millimeter actually fit this bike, which is great, because most bikes that were made in 2017, I don't think you could fit a 28 millimeter.
Yeah.
And and it has ceramic bearings here, but it's really, and the sound. Check out the sound. It's very quiet. in today's standards, but I don't mind it. It's very stealthy. Sometimes when the free wheel's too loud, everyone could hear you. Carbon fiber, water cage, and then I like this. This is the oil slick, and I bought this to match my shoes. I have Shimano shoes, and that's the reason why I switched it to this. So, yeah, I really enjoy this bike, and I put about, I would say, 35,000 miles on this bike, and I've crashed twice.
Oh, twice?
Yeah, one on a race and one on a Gran Fondo, and so far it was great. Never, it wasn't a bad crash, but I crashed on this bike twice, and I was afraid it was gonna crack on me, but not really. So far, so good.
You also watch cycle road race a lot?
I do. Last year, me and my wife, we went to watch the Tour de France. Not last year, 2 years ago. We watched the Tour de France in Champs-Élysées in France. Yeah, it was we were standing and we're just watching them go by. They're so quick.
So do you have any favorite pro cyclists?
Right now?
Yeah.
I have to say, that's a good question. I would say Tajay.
Pogačar.
Yeah, because I think he's one of the best in history. I mean, he just blows everybody out.
He's dominant.
Yeah, he's just very dominant. And he's clean. I think he's clean, right?
I hope so.
He also rides for an Italian company, a Colnago, which is my favorite bike too. Colnago. Actually, Colnago was my first good bike. I have a Colnago C40, and it's hanging on my wall right now. And I'm a big Colnago fan as well. But yeah, I think I'm not sure if he's the favorite this year. There's a lot of good young riders, but I think it's either him or I don't know, Vingegaard. Who else is strong? There's a lot of strong riders that are up and coming. So yeah, but I have my money on him still. I think he's got a few more years. Yeah, so he's still young. He's probably in his mid-20s.
Yeah.
Right, so he's got a... But my favorite old-time rider is probably Chris Froome.
Oh.
You remember Chris Froome when he was in the Sky team?
Yeah, I also like I like him.
Yeah, the cadence that he did. I never owned a Pinarello, but that's my dream bike, is to own a Pinarello, like a Sky team. That he's probably one of my favorite rider, one of my personal favorite rider, and then before him it would have to be Lance Armstrong.
Oh, Lance Armstrong?
Yeah, the American. Yeah, because I read his book and he's got a great history. And he's won countless Tour de France, right?
Yeah.
I think in seven
8
times. Yeah. It's too bad he took it away from him, but it's all politics there. But yeah, he's probably my all-time favorite. I think he's the one that inspired me to ride, Lance Armstrong. If you read his book, it's really uplifting. How he recovered from cancer, and then he won the Tour. Yeah, there's only a few American riders that Greg LeMond is another American rider I like. So Greg LeMond, Lance Armstrong. Yeah, those two American riders that I could think of right now. But yeah, cycling is, I think, the hardest sport in the world. I think especially the Tour de France, that's the most brutal. Exactly. You can't, soccer, football, doesn't matter what sport you play. Cycling, it could be rainy, snow, sunny, you still have to ride. Even if you crash, you get up and you still ride, That's what's amazing. And they have no protection. You're just wearing basically underwear. They crash going 50 miles per hour. The whole body is half gone. And they still get on their bike and they ride. But the best part is when they're hurt, there's a doctor that drives in a car and patches them up while they're riding. Do you ever see that in the Tour?
That's also a crazy part.
Right. They're riding and then the doctor's putting bandages on them while they're riding, or their mechanics are fixing their bike while they're riding. Yeah, I think cycling is the most dangerous and hardest sport, in my opinion.
Also, the last thing, could you also tell me about your usual cycling passion?
Oh yeah, so I'm a big Rafa. When I got seriously into cycling, I've always bought Rafa because I think Rafa, I have a bib, and Rafa bibs are the most comfortable, and they last longest in my opinion, and they fit me well. I mean, I gained a little bit of weight, but I think Rafa, their design I like. They're not flashy. They're comfortable. I would say they're in a upscale in terms of the price, but they're not the most expensive. Like I think ASOS is probably a different league, right? But I like Rafa. I'm a big Rafa fan. Everything I'm wearing now is Rafa. Like there's the Rafa Pro winter jacket, Rafa winter bib, Rafa, you know, what do you call that? Shoe toe covers. Rafa, you know, winter hat. So I trust Rafa, and they have a good return policy. If you don't like it, you can go to the store, they'll exchange it for you. And they also have I'm not sure if they have another policy now that if you lose weight, you could bring back your jersey and you get a discount for the smaller jersey that you buy. So that's very cool, right? Yeah, and they have a club in New York. They also have a club in Tokyo.
Yeah.
There's a Rafa club in Tokyo, which I've been to, and so yeah, they're all over the world. And so yeah, I do, and they have club rides that are led by a group leader that works for Rafa, and yeah, just a bunch of good people, you know, good riders. I would say, yeah, it's nice to go in a group, but I prefer solo cycling. I like to ride on my own sometimes. I don't, yeah, because then that way you don't have to wait for anybody, you don't have to look out for anybody. So for me, I like riding solo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I ride from here to New Jersey, like over the West Side Highway, over the GW Bridge, over to River Road, and then from River Road you take 9W all the way to Bear Mountain if you want to, or Paramount, Nyack, Bear Mountain. But yeah, there's a lot of riding in New York, believe it or not. And my favorite place to ride is in the park, like Prospect Park, which I think is better than Central Park, because you don't have to deal with horse carriages, tourists. You know, this is 3.2 mile loop, but it's challenging. They got a little hill up there.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of good riders up here too. And you know, so yeah, I think Prospect Park is a good place to ride safely. You know, you could ride here at night, no problem, morning. Central Park, the only time that you could ride there is at 6 a.m. in the morning. That's way too early. And even so, you have to deal with a lot of people there, you know. So, yeah, and this is my favorite place to ride in Brooklyn, Prospect Park, yeah. I would say.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you.
So, could you tell me your name and what do you do for a living?
Yes, my name is Amadeus, last name Shabazz. I half do stuff on the bike like delivery and things like that. And the other half I do like things with coding, software engineering, and mostly internships and stuff like that on the side.
So, could you tell me about your bike setup?
Yeah, definitely. I'll start at the top. First we got the Easton bars here, followed with the Easton stem, FSA kind of headset here. All this is from the homie Dane, thanks for hooking it up. 28-inch or 28C rims or wheels on both sides. I used to run 32s, but they were like way too wide. 28 I think is a really, really good medium, especially for New York. There's so many cracks out here. It is crazy. You need something bomb-proof.
Yeah, right.
You need something, yeah, like it can go through anything. And this has been a test of everything. Back up to the saddle, I had bought the Italia saddle. It's really comfortable. It's really flat, something I like. I don't like the ones that like dip down. You need the little cutout, just comfortability for me all together. This is a must whenever it rains. Snow, anything, you will save your jacket completely. The back wheel's a little different, another 28, but it's just tougher because skidding and things like that, no brakes.
Do you change it like from summer?
No, nothing. Honestly, these tires have lasted over a year. I would recommend these a whole bunch. They last so long. Origin 8 straps here, they're kind of basic. Crankset, Sugino cranks, 48-18 with the Izumi chain. 48-18 I think is really comfortable it's so just, there's a lot of hills around here especially, so I think it's so comfortable to ride around on. Yeah, and the bike, I don't know what frame it is because it's been stripped, but I just know it's like a bomb-proof. It's steel, completely steel. It's just been through everything. Rain, snow, you name it, it's been through it. Never had a problem at all.
Prefer steel rather than other stuffs?
I would say I rode a really nice aluminum track bike for like a good couple years. But after riding in New York, I realized you almost don't want something too nice, because it can get stolen, things can happen. Like if I drop this, I don't care. But when I had a really nice bike that was like really nice paint, I had an Engine 11 track bike. It was crispy, but it's just, New York is so unforgiving to cyclists.
Yeah, right.
It's
Makes sense.
yeah. So this has been like the tank essentially. I love this bike. And the little cat eye bell, this is a must. It's not too loud, but it lets people know you're coming. And the Vans grips, I've had these for years. That's pretty much my setup.
Could you tell me about your cycling fashion?
For sure. I would say for the most part, I like to be super comfortable as often as possible. I'm wearing like a full body thermal under this, so like thermal like tights, thermal long sleeve. I'm wearing cycling shorts under, like padded shorts, stay warm. Just regular shoes. Van socks, of course, because you got to. These are the California poppies. I'm originally born in California. So yeah, this is just a call back to the home, where I came from.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Regular pants, nothing too crazy. This is one of my favorite hoodies. My girlfriend actually got me this one. It's a Fast Too Furious. Hans RX-7, man. Yeah, such a great movie. Regular jacket. Gotta have this in the winter. It's a must. Cover your face. Sometimes if the sun's out, I'll do the glasses, gloves. These are like heat tech gloves. Uniqlo has really good heat tech everything. So these are good touchscreen for your phone, especially when you're working on the bike. You don't have to take your gloves on and off all day. It's really great. Oh yeah, Palace, just a regular hat. I've had this for years too, just regular. I like to just be comfortable on the bike. Normally I would wear a helmet. I would advise everybody to always wear a helmet. I would never not wear a helmet. But I've been so comfortable on my bike that I'm just like, I can do my thing every now and then. But otherwise, when I'm working, it means I always wear a helmet. Safety first, because you never know what other people may do.
So you want to introduce your backpack?
Oh yes, definitely. So yeah, this thing I got from the Bike Jumble. This is basically like almost an art piece, if you would. It's probably about, I want to say 10 years old at this point. There's maybe about 10 made. It was like an old Alleycat prize back in, I want to say, maybe it's more than 10 years old. So there was only a couple of these like Kurt Boone special editions made. There's a bunch of like signature pockets in here that keeps the lock in there. You can close everything down. Keeps everything in here. A bunch of tools. Gotta have a spare tube and like tools to replace your tire at all times. It's an all-purpose bag and it's really, really big. So you can fit anything in here. I fit like maybe 20, 30 orders when I'm working in this one bag. It paid for itself the day I bought it. I bought it for like $150. I went to work the same day with this bag and it paid for itself the same day. Also Kurt Boone, if you ever check him out, definitely a really legendary messenger activist. He does a lot of art as well. Really, really cool guy. I wanted to get to know him a little more, but just having this bag, I think, is also just a piece of his history alone. So that's really a guy worth checking out. Really good messenger history here in New York.
What is the craziest cycling story so far?
Oh man, it's really tough because I would say before I was riding fixed gear, I used to ride road bikes. So I used to go all the way to like Queens on the pathways, and I didn't bring tools or anything with me like I do now because I cared about aerodynamics, just being fast when you're on a road bike is what a lot of people care about. So I was really far out in Queens, just kind of stranded for a couple hours, had to walk really, really far. But I ended up walking to like a bike shop that was like about an hour away, so they helped me out. That's probably one of the craziest stories. Because I really haven't been through too many crazy things on the bike, no road rage. People take it pretty easily on me. People respect me on the road so far. Just like flats, I do have a wheel that's like bent in half after I hit a pothole. That's why I mentioned having a really bomb-proof bike because it was a wheel, it wasn't one that Dane built. Get a wheel that Dane built.
Dane built.
Yes, get a wheel that Dane has built because those wheels will last you. The one I had before that, it's almost like a taco because of a pothole around here. So just get really good wheels because New York is really unforgiving. I will say a couple of years ago during the Brooklyn Alleycat, I did fall really hard because of a moped stopped right in front of me to drop off a delivery. And I basically flew over the handlebars, and yeah, it was crazy. Thankfully my bike was okay, but yeah, that was one of the crashes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that was awesome.